I met a gypsy.
And again, we are tiny compared to the world. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's why I'm okay with my son just chilling. I know he wants to do it so bad, and you know the whole point of selling the home a couple years ago was to move around, and my wife got a job, and which was a dream job for her. So we're like, okay, fuck, we'll stay, and it's great. My son, he goes and rides, and dude, I can literally sit back and just watch him ride,
Yeah.
and I don't care,
Yeah.
like yeah, he got hurt, and that's unfortunate, but he didn't crash or anything. He literally just he dropped his leg off the peg. That's his own fault. But I don't care, if he goes fast, if he goes slow, okay, cool, great.
Yeah.
Only thing I started to get irritated with is if I tell him to do something and that's gonna keep him safe and he doesn't do it, that's
Yeah.
when I get mad.
Yeah.
Or if he tells me, dude, like, let's go here, I'm telling you I'm gonna do good, and he goes out and he rides like a pansy, then I'm like, dude, like, why'd we come? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I get if you're gonna go, let's just say, let's go have fun, let's go do it.
Yeah.
But no, for me being burnt out, everyone just getting burnt out at a young age, and then the whole drinking scene came about,
Yeah.
in my era.
Yeah.
And that was a big, big, big thing. That's where they were leading me down.
Yeah.
And it was like I didn't realize how much destruction that would have on my body at a young age,
Yeah, dude.
20, 21 years old.
Yeah,
And
because that was the after party era.
uh-huh.
Like there actually were after parties, and
Heavy after parties on a Saturday night after the race,
Yeah.
and then you go home Sunday and whatever. And then you go Monday, Tuesday, ride, maybe Thursday ride, depends on, how you feel. You sometimes didn't ride Monday because you're still trying to recover from the Saturday night.
yeah,
And then bike rides were, far and few between. And but yeah, I don't care how open I am about that stuff anymore. It's part of my
Yeah.
career,
Yeah. Fuck, how many athletes get wasted every Saturday? Like it's so looked down upon in our sport, or it's so like hidden in our sport.
But we
in
have
a
to
way.
be so mentally clear, and honestly, alcohol does so much damage to your body,
Yeah,
and it's insane the amount of destruction it does that you don't even realize.
yeah,
Especially when you're in top shape, which I hardly ever was.
yeah,
So you got to add in the fact that I wasn't in top shape and I was doing that and I was eating like shit. I mean, my trainer would bring me a coffee cake every freaking morning that I would go race.
What?
And because that's what I wanted because it sounded good. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know any different.
So you basically were just like paying a dude,
Yeah.
and then the dude was like, "I want to keep getting paid, so whatever the fuck he wants me to do, I'll just do."
But
He wasn't like a real trainer.
I
in
mean,
a
I
sense.
won, a few rounds with him. I did. I did win, and I'm not saying that it's just him. It was other people that I had around me as well. And it's just, I wish the food and I wish the drinking and I wish learning about the stuff that I know now was implemented back into my program back then, because it could have, I think, changed my program around pretty fast back in the day when my mom and I went our separate ways.
Yeah,
And I never got that. Everything that I know now, everything that I'm able to teach Julian and Benny and all the guys that I work with, I've taught myself.
Yeah,
and I've learned through a few other trainers that I've had and that were really good trainers. You know, it's like Ezra Lusk, he taught me so much. Pablo taught me a ton. Pete Colson taught me a ton. And being with those group of guys my entire career, not my entire career, but the entire end of my career, it changed how I thought about stuff, how I processed things, how my mindset was, which is where the whole Milsaps mindset thing comes into play now. It's like, okay, I'm not that guy anymore. I know what not to do, so let's do it the right way. Or the way that, a different way than what I did it. And kind of just spun out of control in the beginning, and in the end, like I said, those guys were around me, and I had it all figured out my last year. Had it all figured out, and I was on another level, and then it ended 1 year too soon.
yeah.
So, but all in all, you live and you learn, right?
Yeah, and it's like if you go back and you look at your life and you don't have the freedom that you think you do.
Yeah.
In a lot of time, like it's very easy to sit back now in hindsight and say, I should have done this, should have done that, wish I done. But it's like in the moment, like you just don't have the freedom. It's like you raced the first year on a 125 when there was a 250F there, and it's like there's other contracts that you could take that you didn't, and it's like, but there was a reason why you didn't, and then this happened, and it's like your life is just this unfolding.
You know a lot about my life.
Yeah, I research interviews. Got to research.
Yeah.
But it's like you get into this, like your life is just momentum.
Yeah.
I think everyone can relate to that,
Yeah.
you know, and maybe people don't even think about that in the time. Like I'm dealing with problems right now that are a result of like all this shit that happened like it's just like, it's like years ago. You make these small decisions and then it's like at some point down the road. And so you're kind of way less free to make decisions than what you feel like you are in the moment.
And also, I think the decisions that you make that you think are small are gigantic in the future.
Dude, for sure.
Know? And the repercussions that come from it are they hurt.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's life. I get that it's life, you know, and that's why me being 36 years old, there's still so much life to live. So I can try to, you know, teach people or help people, and at least in my industry or outside the industry, that literally suffer now and live like a king later. You know, just put the work in.
It's so true.
You know, like grit your teeth right now, dig your heels in the ground and fucking put the work in and let's go. You know, right now, there's no better time to start than right now. And if you don't start now, tomorrow's not promised.
It's just like the easiest equation. Hard now, easy tomorrow. Easy today, hard tomorrow.
Hard tomorrow.
You know, it's
but
so
I
simple.
Never had anyone tell me that.
Yeah.
You know, I never had anyone teach me any of that. And then as my career went on, that's when I around the right people and my career started turning around. You know, like Ezra and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He was probably one of the biggest impacts of my life as far as turning my career around, getting me on the right training schedule or let's say riding program, because he was my riding coach.
Yeah.
So, but dude, I argue with him every day, still mentally, like even in 2013, every day, fuck you, dude. No.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to do that. Like, no, but I would go and do it. Then I learned me arguing was my way of coping with myself to get through it.
Yeah.
But when I learned how to change that mindset to where it was like, dude, let's go. Like that's all you got. Then it became fun.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, you know, when I'm training Julian, it's the same thing. Like, dude, trust me, right now you're struggling. You're hating me. You're hating life. You're hating everything. Just give me a couple of weeks. Just give me a month, you know? And then when it gets there, just give me another couple of days. You know, it's always that thing. And then when he gets through it, he's like, oh, fuck, that was easy.
Yeah.
I'm like, only because in your mind, you only had a couple more days. You know what I mean? But once you got through it, and then you realize that it was okay. You know, same with Benny and the shit that he goes through. And then, you know, it's all part of it. Even though Benny, you know, we signed with a new team, which was great. You know, he had to put a lot of work in with that bike on the offseason. A lot of work with that bike in the offseason to where he is now, stepping finally up. You know, it's been a long process to get there. And I've had to talk him off the ledge multiple times. And honestly, I give him credit for, you know, enduring some of the stuff that he did. So where he's at now, he's at a really good mental place. So me helping him through that, I was like, okay, cool. Like, that's awesome. You know, you did it. You made it through what you never thought you could have. So it's just shit like that I get jazzed on now. You know, as being old, I guess, and being a vet and just looking back and knowing what I fucked up on and what I did wrong.
Yeah, it's not in vain, you know.
Yeah. So it's good.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.